Okay. And one thing that's kind of a passion of mine, and Berkshire the company and Berkshire the structure, I'm a big fan of. And I'm just curious if you think that someone could replicate that and have success, or if that needs kind of the singular Warren Buffett person kind of running the show. Shree, I mean, you've had some experience inside some companies in the financial sector. Do you think the Berkshire structure could be replicated to the degree Buffett's done it?
That's a tough question to answer. In reality, many of my friends will say that, yes, it can be replicated. It is being replicated, for example, in Sweden. Sweden has this unique collection of serial acquirers who've been exceptionally successful. I've been looking at them. I don't own them. And, of course, we have this master of serial acquirer up north in Canada, Constellation Software. But I constantly worry about, trying to come up with another Warren Buffett or Jeff Bezos, or, they're only one of those types of individuals. So for me, those types of roll-ups are not necessarily within my wheelhouse. So I do stay away from them, but I keep looking. I have Swedish friends. I met them last night. Probably there are a couple of them here. They keep talking about Swedish roll-ups, which seem to be replicating what Buffett is doing. Yeah.
And I want to ask you about investing internationally, but first, Geoff, I'm just curious about your take on that question, too, on the Berkshire structure, if it can be replicated and with another one leading the charge.
Yeah, I mean, I think it can be replicated, but I think people can look at it backwards now and think, okay, let me buy an insurance company, let me do these things. Buffett said if we could have kept the bank, we might have been as big in banking as we were in insurance. He was flexible. So the reason he did what he did is because he could take capital out of textiles and the returns were terrible. So I think you can do it flexibly, but there'll be times where it doesn't make sense in insurance. It doesn't make sense in some other way to get the capital. But the idea of having float, the idea of reallocating capital from worse businesses into better ones, owning businesses for that reason of shifting where the capital is, I think that can work. But just copying exactly what he did, I don't think he'd do the same thing today. If he'd have to go back to 1970 for what he did to make the same amount of sense as it would now,
Yeah, I think copying someone, you have to be careful because you have to be yourself and let your own personality shine through. And like you said, at different times, there's different opportunities, so you just have to look what's available there today.